Hey guys, mad theories here. Now, everybody's been hype. Everybody's been hype and been talking about the whole Pride Troopers. Now, sure, they're like, I'm kind of pissed about a lot of things about the Pride Troopers. First off, like I love Jiren. Like Jiren's obviously going to be the man when he fight Goku, and then Toppo, he's also sick too, and I never put anything past him. And I guess Beerus's little brother or bunny type thing or whatever, but you know, the whole point about the whole Pride Troopers is they're basically like the Ginyu Force but good. But nah, freaking nah. I was like, you know what would have happened if freaking Frieza had them as his Ginyu Force or the Pride Trooper Force? And let's say it would have been in the reverse. I mean, it would have been still sick, but yeah, I think it still would have been sick if the Pride Troopers was basically evil and they was basically the Ginyu Force, and the Ginyu Force was actually in the tournament. Because to be honest with you, if the Ginyu Force was in the tournament and they would have been a little bit stronger, they would have done a lot of damage. To tell you the truth, now before I get to that theory of mine, I'm gonna talk about the Ginyu Force for a hot second. The Ginyu Force was basically sick. Like you had Berta, who was supposed to be like the fastest person in the universe or the fastest hitter in the universe or whatever. Then you had Jace, then you had Raccoon, then you had Ginyu, and then you had Gudo. Yeah, you know, you had all those guys, and I was like, yeah, like they was pretty strong. But if they was to still would have stayed alive, and they would have trained and whatnot. The only person who was technically alive was Ginyu until Vegeta killed them. But if you know, if the Ginyu Force was basically still alive and they would have got that training from Frieza, and he would have like made them a little bit stronger, and if they would have somehow would have been alive to the tournament, and then they would have been there too. I'm telling you, it would have been interesting. It would have been a lot interesting, because the thought of that would have been freaking what, Ginyu probably trying to take Jiren's body or whatever, because you see how powerful they are. He'd instantly get rid of his body, or he would try to take the body of a god of destruction and whatnot. That which would have been interesting as well. If you'd been like, well, I have all this power and I can do whatever I want with it, and he had just destroy his body and whatnot, almost do something like what Zamasu did to Goku, but instead of he just like wished to have his body, and then he just destroyed his body. Well, he destroyed his own body, and then he destroyed his family, and then he did all that stuff. But but back to the theory of mine. Now the theory would have been if Frieza would have had them as his Pride Troopers, had them as his new Ginyu Force, and oh my god, if he would have had them in the Dragon Ball Z arc, they would have been popped. I mean, again, working on. I think they should have been Frieza's elites instead of the Ginyu Force. They should have been his elites, because you got Jiren, this motherfucker. He broken. He broken. Just imagine if Frieza would have had them as his like support and his backup, instead of it being like the Ginyu Force, then Frieza would have gotten his wish for immortality. He probably would have eventually learned how to destroy other universes or conquer them or whatever. Like basically, I feel that Frieza's goal would have been somewhat like Black Goku's, but it would have been more psychotic, because only thing Frieza basically cared for was destruction and ruling over a universe. Well, he wanted to rule over the universe, but I feel that if he would have gained his ultimate goal, he probably would have just started learning how to destroy the universe, and probably would have done a Black Goku. But like I said, he would have done it more sadistically and whatnot. But like, he wants to be the only person that's like the true ruler, not just by, I want to destroy all humans. No, he would have been like the true ruler if everything would have went right. Because let's be honest with you, if you would have had them as his team, forget it. Goku going Super Saiyan he would have shut him down. It would have been nothing. Like we would have never seen Frieza's form. We would have never seen any of that. It would have just been Frieza and the new elite Pride Troopers and whatnot, and broken as hell. Because it's like, again, the Ginyu, they're basically the Ginyu Force of 2.0. Everybody sees this. Like, they're basically Ginyu Force 2.0 and whatnot. Sure, they're even stronger than the Ginyu Force ever was, but still, they're still 2.0, even though they're no longer the Ginyu Force. And you have Pride Troopers, but oh my lord, if Frieza would have had them, it would have been over. Now, only person Frieza would have had to basically would have feared in would have been Jiren, because his fear would have been like he didn't want them to be stronger than him. Even though if you think about it, the Ginyu Force, Captain Ginyu himself could have taken Frieza's body, but it was the fact is that he adored Frieza and he really wanted to like work under him, and he cherished it. That's why it made sense why you see Frieza didn't really kill Ginyu. He was like, "Oh, you still alive? Yeah, I remember when you was dancing for me. Yeah, I remember those cold, lonely nights. You know." And that was why it was that. But you know, if Jiren would have ever gotten stronger, he probably would have like, you know, would have not allowed that, because he would have showed his way. Like, listen, instead of it being all pride, it would have been the evil troopers. Like, the evil troopers would have been like, oh, help destroy the universe, help conquer other planets, and, you know, do all this other stuff. But they would have been under loyalty to Frieza, and Frieza would have been laughing and enjoying the entire situation of the matter and whatnot. But still, Ginyu, if Ginyu was to have Frieza's body, they technically basically would have been over. But yeah, that goes for that. But yeah, I'm telling you right now, it's like, you know, Frieza is still, he still is. I mean, it's sad that it's not Cooler, but hey, we still get Frieza, because everybody know that Cooler is the coolest motherfucker in the universe. But yeah, Frieza is just the sadistic person of the universe. Like, he's just the type of dude that's like, listen, I don't mind killing you. I tell you right now, I don't mind killing you, but it's gonna hurt, and it's gonna cause a lot of pain and torture and a lot of suffering and stuff. But it's like, yeah, Frieza's in all types of, he's in all types of stuff, and it's just wow. Like, Frieza, my man's like, I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. But yeah, if you like what you heard what you like, you know, please subscribe, share, do all that wonderful stuff. I'll catch you later.